Hey guys, how's it going today? Um, just wanted to bring you that Wrestlemania review and results video, as well as I'm not gonna review, well, I'll review, but I'm not gonna give you all the results from Raw. I'll just slightly cover the Raw after Mania. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dig into Wrestlemania here. Now, this was the pre-show um, uh, stuff here. The first match was Natalya and Paige, Alicia Fox, Eva Marie, and Brie Bella versus Lana, Tamina, Naomi, Summer Rae. Natalya, Paige, Alicia Fox, Eva Marie, and Brie Bella won that, like I said, probably setting up for Brie Bella to retire. I don't know when that's going to happen. It didn't happen on Raw there. But she'd even said herself, and rumors speculate that retiring is close to her future here, so something to look out for. I honestly don't see her being in the WWE too much longer. I think she's going to be more focused on her, Daniel, and a family and that kind of stuff. Second match was Usos versus the Dudleys, and I believe it was a table match. I honestly didn't watch the pre-show. We had a friend come over. I watched it at a buddy's house, and we just really didn't get there in time to watch the pre-show, which I honestly didn't miss much from the pre-shows. Only match I really wanted to see was this next one coming up. But anyway, the Usos beat the Dudleys. I think they put them through tables. I don't know if it was a table match. I'm pretty sure it was. It had to, or I don't know. But I know the Usos beat the Dudleys there, which I had, that was my pick on that one, and my pick on the last match I got correct. The U.S. title match, Kalisto retained his title against Ryback. That was another one of my picks. Now we're moving on to the main show here, which I got everything here bungled up. I got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle first here, which I kind of figured the setting of this would be wrong. Just because I picked it off of a card off of the internet and went from there, so I kind of figured the match lineup wasn't correct, so I'm just going to go off of what I know, what I think the match lineup was. The first match was the WWE Intercontinental title, Kevin Owens and versus The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn versus Stardust versus Zack Ryder versus Sin Cara. Zack Ryder had won that. I thought that was a pretty good match. I like the spots from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn there that had alluded back to their Ring of Honor days, their Ladder Wars days. That was pretty cool. I'd like to see them in a solo ladder match. Zack Ryder picked up the win there, so hopefully it sets up for a feud between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and I'll get into that when I start talking about Raw here. But Zack Ryder had won the Intercontinental Championship match. The second match, which was I'd picked either Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens, but if I'm going to pick somebody, I think I picked Sami Zayn to win that, which I'd picked wrong on that one. I don't know because I actually don't have this circled who I had picked. But Jericho versus AJ Styles was the next match. A lot of people were pretty heated up about this, saying that AJ Styles was buried by Chris Jericho. I never thought that was the case. Really, I didn't care who won on that match because I just wanted to see them guys go at it again. They're really good. in the ring. Both of them, they complement each other's styles pretty good. So, honestly, I just wanted to see them go at it again. And honestly, I'd see them go at it again too. I'd like another match. So, that'd be cool too. I wouldn't be mad if they wrestled again. But I'll get into more of that, the whole burying thing, when I talk about the Raw after Mania here. Next up, and I do believe the next match was New Day versus League of Nations. The New Day picked that up. Their entrance was pretty wild. They came out of a big box of Booty-O's dressed up like the Dragon Ball Z Ginyu Force. I like that. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Dragon Ball Z growing up, admittedly, but that was pretty cool. The New Day is always cool in my book. I like the New Day. After that, actually, no, the New Day didn't win that one. I'm sorry. League of Nations won that, and then went on to say that there's no trio in WWE or WWE history that could beat them. Out came Mick Foley, out came Shawn Michaels, and out came Stone Cold. They had, came out, did their finishers on the League of Nations, and then Stone Cold had stunned Xavier Woods, which was pretty funny, and then they had all drank some beer and left. So that was your Legends mark out moment of WrestleMania. That was pretty cool. For the New Day versus League of Nations there. The next match after that was... I'm going to have to say the next match after that was Sasha versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. That was probably, honestly, the best match on the card, wrestling-wise. They stole the show. Ended with a muddy victory for Charlotte, where there was a... I think Charlotte had Becky Lynch in the figure 8, and Sasha Banks was trying to get in the ring there, and Rick pulled her out and cost the championship, and had Charlotte had won there, and they had announced on the pre-show that Charlotte was that the winner of that match was going to get the new women's championship match. And even, like, the next day went on to say, there are no more divas, or women's wrestlers. Each women and men, respectively, will be called superstars now. But yeah, Charlotte won that match. And then we're going to move on to, I believe the next match was Lesnar and Ambrose. Which, this one, I didn't like the ending of this. Like Matt Zion said on Jesus Christ, Reckless Eating, Reckless on Wrestling, Dean Ambrose looked like he never had a chance. Brock Lesnar capitalized on him the entire time, hit over like a dozen German suplexes. Like he had said, Dean needed all these weapons to even put a dent in Brock Lesnar. It never looked at one point like Dean had a chance against Lesnar. Like, Lesnar was stepping on the weapons, laughing at him and everything. I just don't know where they're going to go with that, because Lesnar wasn't on Raw the next night, so they didn't progress that storyline. I guess Brock Lesnar had said something to the tune of, when he's on TV, Vince McMahon pulls his wallet out and makes sure he gets his TV appearances, but there's a limit, and they're at it right now, so all his bookings are booked up right now, or whatever. I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but he doesn't appear just willy-nilly randomly. Whenever they need him is when they need him, and then he's going to be on. I guess. So whenever he comes back is when they choose to take that storyline up a notch. But I believe the next match after that was the Shane McMahon versus the Undertaker match. It was a pretty good match. I quite enjoyed that. I didn't expect the big moment was Shane jumping off of the cell onto the announce table. Well, the Undertaker was laying on and he moved. But I quite like that match. Being an Undertaker mark like I am. I mean, it wasn't the best match on the card. Certainly wasn't the best match for Undertaker's career. In Undertaker's career. I'm kind of glad it wasn't the last match. Kind of sad to say that the Authority storyline wasn't going to move forward with Shane winning and becoming the GM or whatever. But we'll get on to that when I talk about Raw briefly afterwards. But it could still progress, but I'm not sure how it's going to progress now or whatever. Rumor has it that this was Undertaker's last match, even though this is usually said at pretty much every WrestleMania. Taker says this, so I don't really know whether or not to believe that. Taker really says that pretty much every WrestleMania or whatever. But it would be kind of silly for him to say he's wrestled his last match if the whole point of him taking the loss was if he took a loss, then he wasn't going to wrestle WrestleMania anymore. So if he wasn't going to wrestle anymore, why not just take the loss and progress the Authority storyline? But for some reason, I don't see this being his last match. But after that, I do believe was the Andre the Giant Memorial, and I had Samoa Joe and Kane winning that one. Samoa Joe didn't debut, but Baron Corbin did debut. And he had won that match. He had thrown Kane out, so it was kind of close on that one. Oh, by the way, I had Styles to win. I didn't get that one. I had Sasha Banks to win. I didn't get that one. I had New Day to win. I didn't get that one. I had Shane to win. I didn't get that one. I had Ambrose to win. I didn't get that one either. But Baron Corbin had won that one. So on to the next and final match of the evening was Roman Reigns versus Triple H. We had all seen this coming a mile away. It was the only match I predicted right on the main card. Reigns picked up the win. Reigns is now the champion. And then we move on to the Raw after Mania here. I'm not going to cover the whole entire thing, but I'll let you know the basis of it. Shane came out. He thanked the fans. He thanked even Vince for the match. He said he was in good spirits, in good shape. He wasn't badly injured or bunged up. And he come out and, looked like he was saying his final goodbyes. And Vince had stopped him in his tracks. He said, you know what, you go ahead and you take over Raw for tonight on a temporary basis. We'll see how you do, yada, yada, yada. Vince was then later seen going into his limousine and, I'm sorry, I didn't really review WrestleMania. WrestleMania was pretty good. I didn't really go into it with a critic's mindset. I went into it as a kid mindset, just like I do pretty much every WrestleMania. I try to get into my inner kid and try not to criticize too heavily, and you know what I mean? I just try to enjoy WrestleMania for what it is. Unlike the other Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-view or whatever, I just try to enjoy it for what it is. I mean, there was some endings, like I said, I didn't like the Ambrose match. The Undertaker match had me scratching my head, but honestly, in all, I enjoyed it. I'd probably give it about an 8 out of 10. But anyways, on to the Raw after Mania. He was seen getting into his limousine, and they had said, well, why are you leaving? Is that because you have faith in Shane to run it or whatever? And he said, no, because this is going to be a train wreck here. With Shane in charge. But some basic things that happened was there were a lot of debuts tonight, or Monday night. Today is Tuesday. No, today's Wednesday. I don't even know my days. But the debuts that happened were Enzo and Cass came out, and they had shot a promo on the Dudleys. Apollo Crews came back, and he had a match. I forget who. I think he might have faced Fandango. No, I don't know who he faced. I couldn't even remember. But it was Apollo Crews debuted. Enzo and Cass debuted. Baron Corbin had a match, I think. I think somebody else had. They had announced that the Vaudevillains were going to debut on. They had announced that the Vaudevillains were going to debut on SmackDown. Roman Reigns came out and pretty much issued an open challenge for the title. Chris Jericho came out to say he demanding a match. Then AJ Styles came out. Then Sami Zayn came out. Then Kevin Owens came out. Later on that night, it was announced that there would be a fatal 4-way for the #1 contendership. You had later on in that evening, you had seen Kevin Owens attack Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was injured for that part. He couldn't compete in the fatal 4-way that night, and it was revealed that Cesaro was to make his return that night and be involved in that fatal 4-way match for the title. And here's where we get into the whole burying of AJ Styles, who had won the fatal 4-way match to become #1 contender. Sorry guys, I mean, you might think wins dictate a person's pace in the WWE. If the more wins they get, obviously the better position they're going to be in, but that's not always the way it goes. You know what I mean? It doesn't always matter win or lose. They could still be in the title picture. I kind of think it was WWE's way of saying, look at all of our TNA guys. We would never do them dirty. We never meant to do Sting dirty. Even though he lost most of his matches under the WWE regime here, and then had retired for WrestleMania or whatever. We'd never do our fans dirty like that. Sting dirty like that, or TNA wrestlers like that. But I honestly don't think AJ Styles will win that match. I'd like to see it, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. But all in all, like I said, I really enjoyed WrestleMania. I really enjoyed the Raw after WrestleMania. You know, got a little bit of a ways here till our next pay-per-view. So I'll probably review that, give you guys my thoughts on that. But until next time, everybody, take care. I'll see you on the next video.